Hey guys, Dan with Pain Free You. Today's topic: what did you learn from your parents about emotions, and what did you learn from your parents about yourself? And at the same time, if you've got kids, young kids, what are you teaching your children about themselves and about their emotions? So, a couple examples. Let's say your child is doing some things that they shouldn't be doing. They're 1 year old, they're crawling around, they're getting their hands in stuff. Are you yelling at them? Hey, stop that! Hey, stop! Cut that out! You shouldn't be... Yeah, right? And we're reacting and we're yelling. And then at 2.5 years old, their little sister does something and the little boy starts screaming at the little sister. Or you say to the child, hey, no, you shouldn't do that. And they scream back at you, yes, I should! And then you wonder, where did that come from? Well, unfortunately, if we yell at our kids for the first few years of their lives, they're going to learn that that's how we interact with each other. They're just modeling the behavior of us. And, Eckhart Tolle, there's a video out there, How Not to Screw Up Your Kids. There's a podcast and an interview series called London Real. And Eckhart Tolle talks about this stuff. It's like, first 3 years, kid doesn't really even fully understand language, but he understands the nonverbal communication. And he actually says, if you're the type who has bought into this belief that, we should put our kid in a crib and let them cry it out, what are we teaching the child? That when they're in distress, when they're really freaked out, that's when you're least available to them. And I'm talking about parenting right now, but it's also insightful to look at how we were raised. And so when we got upset, did somebody ever tell you, take that to your room, we don't want to see that here? What does that mean? Mommy, this happened to me. And we're told, hey, put that away. We don't have time for that. Go up to your room if you want to be crying. If you get mad or angry and your parents told you, you're not allowed to be mad. What did you learn from your parents? What did they teach you about you? Does it mean that, hey, when you're most vulnerable and upset, angry, sad, whatever, that they're not available for you? And they abandon you at the times when you need them most? Many of us can say absolutely yes. How many of us were banished to our rooms when we were most upset and we were crying or we were angry or something bad happened and parents just didn't want to deal with it? So go to your room. Wow, to be by myself, right? Even time out. Kids misbehaving. Time out. That means go be by yourself. And so are we teaching the children, or have we been taught to abandon people when they're in the most distressing times? It's a really interesting thought. And as we become adults and we look at our subconscious programs, is it very possible that these subconscious programs are based on how we were raised? Absolutely, for sure. And if we feel like we're not good enough, did we have a parent that said, hey, don't be stupid? Why are you always so stupid? Your grades are awful. You must be stupid or something. Right? Hey, we're 50 years old and we still think we're stupid. Or a teacher told me that I don't apply myself. I'm a smart kid, but I don't apply myself. I'm still fighting procrastination to this day. Right? So a lot of what we do as adults is based on the programs we were given when we were a child. From 0 to 3, it's almost all nonverbal, because a lot of the times these 2-year-olds don't really understand. And, the rest of it is a little bit more verbal after that. But by the time we're 7, a lot of what we believe about ourselves, a lot of what we believe about emotions is kind of programmed. It's in our subconscious already. And if we've been taught to believe that sadness makes you weak, don't be a big baby. Don't be sad. We got to be tough. We got to be strong. Or anger's not allowed in this household. Get your clothes on. We're going to church, but don't you dare be angry. right? What are we teaching our children, or what did our parents teach us about anger? And I'm not suggesting any of this is here to criticize our parents for how we were raised. But if you kind of wonder why we are the way we are, maybe fairly useful or insightful to say, well, how was I raised? And if you're blessed and your parents are still around, maybe have a conversation. Hey, how did you deal with us? Did you let us lay in the crib and cry when we were crying? Or did you come pick us up and comfort us? How did you bring us up? And don't make it accusational. Don't be like, hey, you messed me up. You screwed me over. No, but just more of a curiosity. Hey, Mom, I'm trying to figure out how come I'm the way I am, and I'm just kind of curious. Like, what was our upbringing like? I don't remember all of it. I'm missing pieces when I was really little. How was it? And might be insightful to figure that out. And if we're parents, especially of little kids, it's very useful to evaluate how we are treating our children when they are distressed and upset or angry. Are we abandoning them and shunning them away in their room? Are we telling them, be quiet? We don't use those kind of angry words here. Or would it be better if we say, come here, give me a hug. I know you're angry. It's okay. Why are you angry? Tell me. What's going on? Oh, Billy did this to you? He punched you? And how did that make you feel? Oh, pretty angry. Yeah, I bet. That would make me angry too. Right? Or I'm sad. My gerbil died. I'm sad. Should we tell the kid, don't be a big baby, it's just a gerbil? What are you talking about? It's a little rodent. It's like a rat with prettier fur. Get over it. It's just a rodent. Or should we bring him in and give him a nice hug? It's okay to be sad. I'm sad too. Right? So evaluate how you were treated as a kid and what you learned to believe about yourself and your emotions. And then especially if you got kids, young kids now, boy, it's really important to say, how can I help them be more emotionally mature and allow them to feel their emotions without yelling at them? So just the quick question is, what did you learn from your parents about yourself and about your emotions? And are those judgments still playing out in your life now, years, decades later? In some case, 50 years later. In my case, 53 going on 54, and heck, I don't know, 2 weeks. Yeah, we still have stuff going on now that we learned when we were 6, 7, 5 years old, whatever. So take a look back at that. The great news is that when you become aware of it, here's that common thread, awareness. When you become aware of it, you can literally start to say, all right, well, these programs, these beliefs are no longer serving me. The belief that emotions are bad and therefore I need to push them away and repress them, that's no longer serving me, because it's kind of coming out in my body, this stress and tension and all this pain and symptoms. So stress illnesses are kind of evidence that the programs that have been running for years or decades are not working for us. So again, the great news is that if we can stay present, get out of the future vision of horror, the past traumatic childhood, and just kind of stay present, say, okay, how do I want to be now? We have a choice. We can make a difference. We can choose to be more emotional now and allow ourselves and give ourselves permission to feel these emotions. We can choose to allow ourselves to get angry. We can choose to be a little more brave, toughen up. And I'm not saying toughen up to say don't ever cry. What I'm saying is toughen up and allow yourself to cry. Stop running from these emotions. They're not dangerous. They make us human, right? And so we have the choice today to say, I'm going to defy the programming. I am going to reprogram myself so that I live a better life today and tomorrow and down the line, because I am choosing to be a different way, to behave a different way, right? These are old subconscious programs that are running, and you didn't even program them. They were given to you through our upbringing and our environment and our experiences. So Well, let me know what you think of this. What did you learn from your parents? Comment below. Let's share a little bit, because we can learn from each other. And if you still have kids growing up, what are we teaching them? What did we teach them? I know by pushing my kid away because I was in pain, it's just weird for he and I to give each other a hug. We're not overly close physically. Yeah, emotionally we talk great and we got a good relationship, but he'll hug his mom no problem because she never stopped. She started when he was born and she never stopped. So that's fine, it's normal. But what did you learn? And what are we teaching our kids? So comment below, let me know your thoughts, and we'll talk to you guys in the next video. Thanks.